Euro 2024 Group B preview. We should have saved this for last. My heart can't do this. I can't do this. Spain, Italy, Croatia, Albania.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting. I think there's going to be some cagey games.
Are you giving any shot to Albania?
No.
Silvino is their manager. Oh, they got a goalkeeper from Cittadella. Oh, there's the Brentford goalkeeper. As nobody I've ever heard of.
No, they have a big team though. Everyone's over 6 feet, pretty much.
I would be surprised if they get a win. I mean, if they beat any one of these.
Yeah.
Again, there's always an upset in big tournaments, but it's not going to be this one. Any bold predictions?
I think Croatia gets knocked out.
You think it's the end of the road for them? They shocked everybody at the last World Cup because I think people were kind of writing them off a little bit as too old and over the hill.
And that's my thinking. I think Italy just randomly shows up whenever they want. I think for some reason this tournament they're just going to be like, "Hey boys, let's play a little."
When we get ball in tournaments, which is a crazy thing to be saying, although that's more often than not been the pattern here in the last 10, 15 years. When we get into tournaments, we show up. We're there. Disregard 2010. Disregard 2014.
Yeah.
Disregard.
Disregard 39. Disregard 1926. Okay. Yeah. Disregard 2006. I think that's my shakeup, though. I'm going to put Italy second. I'll put
Croatia first.
No, Croatia third.
So I'm going to go Spain, Italy, Croatia.
Yeah, I just think Spain's got that element. Like we're unfairly treating Croatia here. They're a great team. They're really well organized. But yeah, I think that this is what we were talking about 2 years ago, where they're too old to do it. They're just not dynamic enough. Spain plays very organized football too, but they just have that ability to tuck a cheeky one in real fast.
Okay, with Croatia, yeah, some of the core still it has aged, right? They're 2 years older, 2 years moved on from the last World Cup. But I feel like they've done a good job replacing and bringing in some fresher faces. I mean, Luka Modric is still. I don't know if he's going to be starting or if he'll be limited minutes, right? Croatia third is a safe play. Spain, I can't figure out. I'm wondering if there is a resurgence of Spanish football or if they're still a little bit too young. I don't know if I'm absolutely convinced about with Pedri and Gavi yet, if that experience is there. I know David Raya won the Golden Glove. Unai Simon is a pretty quality goaltender, but I don't know how convinced I am back there in terms of their keeping. I mean, are they really going to trot out Morata?
He's their guy. They adore him. At least the team adores him. The fans hate him.
The World Cup was a good learning experience for them. 2 years removed from that, a little bit older. That Nico Williams kid out of is it Bilbao? I love that guy. He's phenomenal. He's so much fun to watch. I could see him turning, mixing stuff up. So I just can't put them first, I don't think. I actually might go Croatia, Italy, Spain, or Croatia, Spain, Italy.
I think they've learned just enough to get through that group. I'm not impressed by Italy. I'm not impressed by Croatia, but I think Spain's better than both those teams. They have the ability to top the group.
I really feel like in tournaments, you really do need a top quality keeper as well. The pressure is so much higher. One little lapse and there goes your tournament. And I just don't know how convinced I am back there. With Spain in terms of them finishing first. Now I think they get through the group, whether it's number 2 or number being in that third spot. I don't know if you remember, but Spain before the Spain that we knew 2008 and on was a squad of disappointment. It was a squad of high expectations and low delivery. They could never do anything, not even runner-ups, eternal quarters, eternal semis. That was it. Or sometimes not even getting out of the group stage. I wonder if Spain is reverting back to type. It was like that for a long time for Spain.
For very, very long time.
2008 to 2014 was really the end of that era, right? When the Flying Dutchman goal was kind of the nail in the coffin. So that's a long time ago now. And it was actually a short period of time where they were the best country in the sport of football in the world. They were. Yeah. They just that was a fact. That's actually a short time frame. The history of it, Spain's always been not the greatest, right? They've been okay. They've been good at times, but not great. So what if they never actually do see that resurgence? What if it's quarters? What if it's semis and that's it?
They don't have those same caliber players. Obviously, the team's super, super young, and it's going to take them some time to figure out whether these guys are going to, I wouldn't say replace a Sergio Ramos or replace a Puyol, but like fill that void that the team needs. I think they're still all really, really young to be talking about it, but I think it's on the precipice of it where it could go either way. We could just see Spain kind of regain some form and come back to being one of the teams that's in the semis and the finals, or we could see them disappear for a little bit again.
The other thing too with that Spanish team, a lot of them played together or against each other.
Yeah.
But they all knew each other. Like it was at one point with that Spanish team I think it was like there was one player in the starting 11 that didn't play for Barcelona or Real Madrid. There's something there. There's something to that when you're very familiar with. Even if it's across the pitch as your rival, there's something to be said about that. And you look, and it's not just the Spanish squad now that's spread out all over the continent. Italy as well, and Germany, right? Croatia. And you look at the teams that had success. So that Spanish squad, it was all in La Liga. That Italy 06 squad, everybody was from Serie A. Nobody was outside of Serie A. Germany, when Germany was really good, most of them were in Bundesliga. The Spanish squad is very spread out. Those are my two questions and concerns around Spain. Is the inexperience, the goalkeeping, and traditionally the history of Spanish football not being the best. I could just see Croatia locking it down.
Croatia's this exact same team that Italy is for some reason, and even in 2018 they seem to go penalties to get through.
I think Croatia can really show up. I like Kvardiol back there. Perisic is still a spark plug. There's something to be said about having that calming presence and that mind in midfield in Luka Modric. Whether it is he's coming off the bench or whether it's the you play 60 minutes and that's it.
You still got to be real careful of Modric, and you surround him with a couple of guys who do all the running for him. There you go. You're set and ready to go.
Which brings us. When was the last time a star came out of Italy? I mean, like a superstar. I'm talking Del Piero. I'm talking Cannavaro. Obviously Maldini. So when's the last time they had a star? Chiesa's not a star. Chiesa's just
not a star.
Lorenzo Insigne, I think everybody just wanted him to be a superstar. Like he was good, and he was definitely the driver of that team. I don't know the last time Italy had a superstar.
It's been winning games by committee for sure. There hasn't been that one guy who's like
no.
Like you said, every team's like, oh my God, we need this guy. Chiesa, a great example of that too. You don't see Real Madrid or Barcelona knocking even around the door being like, is he going to be a superstar?
He's still a really good player. I love Chiesa, but yes, by committee, I definitely agree. And that's Italian football. There's no one person bigger than the team. And the one time they tried to do that, i.e. Roberto Baggio back in the 90s, they lost. I mean, granted, it was on penalties, but 2020, you looked at that team and it was Insigne was your big name, and that was kind of it. Nicola Barella had a great tournament. Chiesa had a great tournament, but it was definitely by committee, and it always helps when you got Bonucci and Chiellini back there, right?
Yeah, like those guys have seen absolutely everything in the game.
And Donnarumma was great to credit. He's that's a great club level since his move to PSG, but shows up when he wears that Italia emblem. So in 2020, they were definitely the beneficiary of not good luck, but Belgium's on their way out. Germany hasn't quite gotten it figured out, and you're right, they had to go to penalties on that. And, England took them to penalties as well. And that English squad was, again, pretty young. Italy definitely was the recipient of some good luck, but you need luck to win. And I just wonder if that luck's kind of going to run out. I mean, they barely scraped through. That Euro winning squad didn't get into the World Cup, and then you barely squeak into Euro. So sure, there's some new names in there. Oh my God, is Brian Cristante actually going to make the team? He's still around. He's Canadian. From the list of names from the last friendlies before the Euros, and who's kind of going to be your attacking presence? And this is where you're going to get back to, okay, now we're going to play real traditional Italian football, and it's going to be defense first. I don't see somebody who can be overly creative or drive maybe Barella, maybe, but I can't really see Chiesa if he's feeling it, but I don't see anybody who's really going to drive the play there. So I think that's really where they're going to struggle and fall down is on that attacking side and the creativity side. There's no, I'll read you the names here from the last squad. Giacomo Raspadori, Nicolo Zaniolo, again, Aston Villa on loan from Galatasaray. We were talking about that before we hit record here. He was going to be the next big superstar. You get this massive beast of an Italian guy who's playing for Roma. He could play in, center forward, striker, winger, center, attacking mid. He's big. He's got speed. He's got talent. He's got creativity. He's got pace. He can shoot, right? And then he goes and fucks it up with the betting, and now he's playing for Aston Villa and the Turkish league, right? So, you can basically write off his career unless he has a resurgence. He's just going to be a mid-level player from now on.
Yeah.
I don't really see him living up to the potential. Or Orsolini, great in Serie A for Bologna, but I can't see him showing up in a tournament. Who's your spark?
This is why I'm saying Croatia third, because I think Spain beats Croatia. I think Italy ties Croatia. Yeah, and then Albania beats Italy. Not actually, but
Albania beats Italy.
I know. I wanted to push your buttons a little.
I know we had trouble with North Macedonia, but that was North Macedonia. Okay?
Yeah, the powerhouse that is North Macedonia. But the Italians will get a tie. They'll get a win against Albania, and they'll probably tie Spain too, just to keep things interesting, and they'll sneak on through.
How boring of a game do you think Croatia-Italy is going to be?
Oh, the most boring game.
You're going to stick with Spain, Italy, Croatia?
Yeah, Spain, Italy, Croatia, but I would, same as you, I would say, because there's the 3 spots, right, for the third place teams. So I would say Croatia still makes it through.
It's interesting because this is a really tough group, so that
you don't get all the points out of it.
Might not have very good stats to make it through, right? I think the safe bet is to say Italy, Spain goes through. But I'm all about these wacky picks now, apparently, because what did I say for Group A? I don't even remember. It was something ridiculous, like Hungary in first. You could be sensible, James. I'll be radical, Mike.
Okay.
And go Croatia, Italy, Spain. I think Spain is going to revert to type, and I don't think we're going to see a resurgence of Spanish football. And I think it's going to be back to high-flying, electric play at times, but otherwise than that, disappointment in terms of meeting their expectations.